Good morning, Rover fans. Well, it's afternoon now, but anyway, hello. It's a disgustingly hot day. We had the hottest day of the year on Thursday, I think, and it must be about 32 now, I would have thought. Since the last video, all I really have done is continued cleaning the glass, installed more bits and pieces in the tailgate, including the gas rams. They're a bit second hand, so I just ordered some new ones because they do hold it up, but they're marginal at best. So when it's fully built up, they'll probably keep dropping. I have got my chrome trims for the gutter rails. I'm not sure I'm going to fit them at this stage, but I have them. Under the car is where the biggest changes have been. I've put down some matting or some plastic sheet, because what I want to do today, while it's nice hot weather, is fill the car with anti-corrosion stuff. So I shall be using Dinitrol with its little lance and a compressor. Here we have the apparatus, or apparatus, whatever. This is the lance, plastic tube with a hole in the end with a little brass ferrule, and that screws onto the top of each of these bottles, and then with the compressor you just fire it into all of the cavities. This Dinitrol, they make loads of different products. This is the 3654-1 in reassuring turdy brown. Corrosion protection, cavity protection for cavities and open surfaces, waxy water repellent film. So I don't think it actually has any chemicals in it that defeat rust that's already formed. It is very much just a surface thing to stop water getting in the cavities and then rotting stuff out. So it's kind of like Z-Bot, I would imagine, probably not as thick as that. I've got the dregs of one can that's left over there, a new lance that I don't know where that one came from, and then 2 new bottles. The idea is just pump the stuff in the car to the point that it's all draining out all over my lovely garage floor, and then feel smug that it is at least protected. Anything that drops out onto the floor I'll collect up, and then I'll use it to paint the insides of the doors and other areas that you can't easily get to. I'm going to finish my ice cream, then I will get the compressor up and running and then start doing it. It's a horrible messy job, but it needs to be done. Gary, who made the stickers up for my car, for the under bonnet stickers, and his son Alexander have just left. They came to pay a visit and I gave them a little tour, which is very nice of them to pop in. And he also made me some more stickers for my race car, which is pretty cool of him. Right, so I will finish my ice cream, dig out the compressor, make sure it works, and then empty the rest of the interior, because as well as doing it from underneath, I'm also going to do it from above through all of these inspection holes and into the sills through those holes on the side there, the base of the B pillar, the inner sills, basically everywhere I can shove that lance. It's getting a liberal squirting. Compressor has done its stuff. I switched it off early because my pressure regulator's broken, but I have an inline one here, and it's saying about 70 psi, and at 70 psi you get quite a it's difficult to show up on the camera, but there you go, quite a flow and quite a lot of angle. So we shall now poke the lance in all the hard to reach places. That's the top of the battery tray you can never get to. I'm not going to film this because it will be incredibly messy, but you get the idea. I'll also pull these front indicators out again and make sure I can get right in and over the tops of these wheel arches. Get them from the backside, in the cabin, through the floors. The other bit, this is a brand new bonnet, so right in there, but it drains out. So I'm sure you get the idea. You can see it running through the badge hole there. It's just come out there and started running along the front there. It's not as creepy, and it doesn't have the capillary action of some of the other ones. like the built hammer, I think it's Dynex S50, that really does get into little cracks and crevices. This won't, but it will do a pretty damn good job, especially as it is so thin today. It's so hot, it's just dribbling out everywhere. I'm about a bottle and a half of the way through the job. I did take the indicators out. I don't know whether you can see in there, but that was all slobbered in. You can get right up into this lip through this aperture here, and then through these little holes, and then that one, really poking it in. I've done up under here, all the way up to the windscreen. I've done the whole of the inside of the scuttle panel and this seam up under here, which likes to rust. I have done the bonnet to death till it's dripping out the bottom of it, which is kind of what I want. I haven't done the top yet. I might come back to that later. And then I've jabbed it in this chassis rail. I removed all the inspection bungs so I could get in there. I've done down underneath the servo, done in and around the clutch over there, same on that side. And then the sills, I've shoved the lance up through that hole there, and then from the inside done all of these inspection holes. You can actually see inside the sill and poke the lance through to the next hole and see that it's getting good delivery of fluid. Done in each of these chassis holes all the way through back to front, the bottom of the B pillar, bottom of the A pillar, bottom of the C pillar. And now I'm just doing, with the lance poked through that hole, I can get to the top side of here, and I've also done it from the rear as well, going through this hole forward, and I've done where my sunroof drains go, all in behind this section. So 1.5 tins, still got another tin and a bit left, plus all the stuff that's draining out the underside of the car onto the floor, because it is runny still, so that's why I put the mat down. So I shall carry on, and then probably have a nice cold drink. That is a messy, hateful job. I've got it everywhere. I had a couple of inappropriate ejaculations, one of which was all over the inside of the dashboard when I kinked the delivery hose and it blew the top of the cap off, which is regrettable, but it'll clean off. Doors done. There are bits of this that I want to do belts and braces, so I will come back with aerosols with very long lances to do a couple of other bits, including the top of here. It's just too messy to do it with that delivery tube system. It just goes everywhere. But yeah, that's the back of it broken. That's good, because that was one of the last jobs that I needed out of the way before I could do the sound deadening inside and then start putting the interior back in. So that's cool. And I'm also glad I didn't put my headlining in and sunroof, because that would have been a disaster if that had shot up all over that. Right, I am now going to go and get a brush and a little pot. I will salvage the goop that's dribbling onto the floor and paint it on areas like this. I've already given it a quick squirt, but I want to brush it into all of the nooks and crannies onto the front where it gets the worst weather. Found an old paintbrush and a plastic takeaway tub, and so it's again a bit of a grubby job, but all of this I want protected. So although it's got epoxy and all the rest of it, this will just help keep that dreaded rust at bay. It might look like overkill, but I'm literally painting everything with this, even this front panel, because it gets so much weather. It all is all hidden by trim and bumpers and front grills and stuff, but literally shoving it on there is the amount of work and effort that's gone into this car. It would be stupid not to. This has all had epoxy on it and the rest, but you know, all these seams here, you know, where the indicators meet the wing and the inner wing, and those seams, that's all getting done, because I had Water likes to sit underneath the headlamps and rot out the brackets. Bonnet hinges, I'll get a liberal coating as well. Oh, this is a hot day for doing this, which is great because this is a lot more fluid. But it's also rather hard work if you don't really like grovelling on the floor in the heat, covered in sticky, goopy, waxy, oily stuff. Pain I go through these cars, eh? And your entertainment. It's the morning after having done all of that cavity wax. I took up all the mats and, excuse me, nothing further has leaked out, which is good. That obviously is just the top side down. When the car is finished, I'll spray the underside and the inner edges of the sills and everything from underneath with another sort of harder protective wax coat. The cavity wax doesn't create a real hard film. So you get different sort of waxes for different sorts of jobs. So that is the cavity inside the car, type 1. I'm going to get some more creeping stuff to do bottoms of the doors. I have done the doors with that stuff, but I'll do it a bit more. It's all goopy in there, which is a good start.